Starry, Hilder's off-grid homestead. Yes! Yay! It's still standing! Woo! I gotta do a mud dance because it has not slid away. See, even Mr. Rooster is excited about it. Starry Hilder's home is safe. Mr. Hilder's home is safe. Everybody's safe. Chickens are good. The dogs are good. And yes, we are still standing and sustaining and surviving. I mean, think about it. We had an epic winter storm. We had mudslides and floods and even a tractor that was pulled out by a Subaru. And still we're prevailing. What else is going to happen? So I had to grab the camera today. This is a Starry vlog. Yay, Starry said it right. I didn't say vlog, did I? See, I listen to you, friends, when you correct my very poor grammar, when I mispronounce something, when I misspell something. I listen to you all. I do. I appreciate it. But before I get started on the tour of what's going on the piece of property here, and give you friends an update, this fall the chickens were free ranging, and Mrs. Meatbird, we discovered, look, Mrs. Meatbird had a secret spot for her eggs. Oh, she's something else. But let's go up into the Back to Eden garden here because it's not looking good, unfortunately. No, not looking really good. Very careful. Starry's gonna be very, very careful here because Mr. Hilder has been watching this slide area in the yard and it is continuing to slide away, unfortunately. And I'll show you. I don't really want to get too close, but see, there's a crack right there. And more has dumped in, and look underneath. Can you see that underneath there? That's the problem. Everything underneath here, it's frozen, and that water continues to seep. And we're suspecting even this to go pretty soon here. So I'm being very, very careful, friends. Ooh, that wasn't safe over there. Okay, I'm just staying back. I'm not going to be Reporter Jane today. Let's just put it this way. We lost a lot more. This is becoming a huge caved-in area. So the pond has been reconstructed, re-excavated. We're not so much worried about this over here. This is always flooded every year. It's kind of a natural path. Are we worried about the little dike area? Actually, this is holding up pretty darn good. It's pretty solid. We're not seeing a lot of water flowing underneath it right now. We are happy about that. And the chickens, everybody keeps asking about the chickens. As you can see, they're doing great. So here's a close-up of the pond. See, it's gotten really small. It's going to be a nice, small, shallow pond. And actually, that's kind of what I wanted. Believe it or not, in the beginning, I wanted shallow. And I was always worried about that high spot over there because it was quite the drop-off, and it was so dangerous. So, and look at look at her. Sneaky Peek. I got to give her a name. Squeaky, Sneaky, Snicky, Snooky, Snacky. I'll come up with something. Right, Mario? Mario. Oh, hi. We're doing a tour today. Oh, yeah, the garden isn't looking that great, but the good thing is, look, the solar panels are erect. They didn't fall over. This is the workhorse of the whole homestead. I got to do a video on the New Holland tractor. Man, that thing saved us. If you don't have a tractor, you better get a tractor because I tell you, when there comes a point of destruction on a piece of property, a tractor is really the way to go. But here, you can see this gulch still has water coming down. Kind of made a beautiful little brook. See, it's a brook. And it's still going down there. But a lot of this has dried up. We didn't sustain really any slides on this slope. I was kind of worried about it. There's just a little tiny bit here. Because this was pretty loose when we first moved here. But this is the cool thing. You see all the rocks? Rocks. Starry has been picking rocks. I love this. I've got so much rock on the property now. See, that's the bonus with the flood and the whole mudslide thing. I got rock. And Starry is a rock hound. I love hauling rock. I love creating things with rock. Mr. Hilder, he had to put the kibosh on me the other day because I was hauling rock and I had a wheelbarrow out and he's like, "Stop! Enough with the rock." He said, it's still gonna rain and we're expecting some snow. And he's like, "Don't get so gonzo over the rock." Sorry, this is Starry. I can't help it. But here's another, see, we still have that going. And this really didn't, now this part of the driveway really wasn't an issue, but Mr. Hilder did a really nice job at diverting even that small stream coming off the mountain there. Now, as I come around the corner, this was the worst part of it. This is the slide area. But look at the work that Mr. Hilder did. You know, just getting out that tractor that day and diverting the water, pushing some of the mud away. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, okay, trust me, it's a bumpy ride. And even with the Subaru, it's kind of, but we're able to get out. And he did that day, which was wonderful. You can see we still have, yes, water coming. It has slowed down a little bit because before it was actually coming over all these rocks. And this has gotten much smaller. And if you saw the footage, this was white water. So now as I walk down here, we have had so many great suggestions. See, that's the great thing about YouTube. People really rally around each other. You get people bouncing ideas off of each other, asking questions. You get a lot of good input. We appreciate that. Now, not every shoe fits the same person's foot. So when we get suggestions, a lot of the things that people suggest just won't work for our area and our particular situation. But you know, the good thing is maybe it will help somebody down the road. Now, we had a lot of suggestions about getting a culvert. You know, in fact, that was the first thing we thought about. Oh, we should have had a culvert. But now the problem with the culvert that we saw right away in town, once we got to town, was that they were all clogged. All the debris that came down from the floods, from the mudslides, got caught in the culvert, got clogged, and roads got flooded. Culverts were rendered useless. When we started seeing that, we started rethinking culverts here on our personal piece of property. Again, the cost. All these things cost a lot of money, and we had the big slide in town where they had built concrete bermed walls and the mud just flew right over it. Just you know, didn't contain anything. So as I said before, one size does not fit all. And although all of these were really inventive, awesome ideas, great ideas, and we appreciated all of them, on our particular piece of property, for the most part, a lot of that just isn't going to work. And the cost factor also. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. We're hoping. And even if it happens again, look, we did great. The tractor did great. The trenching did great. And yes, we're going to probably have to redo the driveway, but you know what? I got a bigger driveway now. It's wider. I love that. And even Mr. Hilder said, this improved the driveway for my plowing in the winter. That's a bonus. So friends, I'm just taking a walk back here. This is actually above the flood site. And it's safe right now, so don't worry about Starry. I'm not going to slide away, but I wanted to show you one of the reasons why this area slid. We've got a great volume of water coming off the mountain, and actually a couple days ago, you could see where it flooded here. This is all flooded. And before, see, this is all flood. And before the slide went, there was water underneath the crust of the snow. Look at this, see? And what it ended up doing was taking off that top layer. See, underneath all this is still frozen. So there was a perfect recipe here for disaster. And here was Starry walking on top of it without even knowing. I mean, I knew that there was water coming down off of this area, but I had no clue that it was going to be sliding anytime soon. Now, it has dried up immensely, which is good, which makes it safe for me to be over here. But I wanted to show you kind of what we were dealing with, because you see there's not a lot of trees. not a lot of roots. And that's the combo you need. You need moving water underneath the soil. You need probably a frozen underground. And yeah, it's like making a cake with all the right ingredients. But the good thing is there's no more water saturating this ground. It is now self-contained to that other gulch there. But an incredible force of weather. Look at that. See, look at that. Was all water, 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 water. And I'm just going to walk right over here. Don't freak out. It's stable, friends. Trust me, it is stable. It's geologically stable. But this is where it slid. And I'm just going to come right over here. We're so blessed today because we did have rain last night, but it wasn't a lot. The water's staying in the gulches, and things are now melting slowly. The weather has warmed up to the 50s. There we go, look at that. And the good thing is, look at this. This is the good thing. I don't know if you remember the original footage, but there was water coming underneath here. There was a stream, and now look at that. The stream is actually dried up. That is great. But that stream actually, can you see that? How it made that gulch? Look at that crevice there. That was the water, the force of the water coming off of that slide underneath this topsoil. But that's so good that it finally stopped. Look at that. No water coming out of there anymore. Yay! I can go over and tell Mr. Hilder that that water has dried up. Look at how interesting this is, though. When you sit back and you really look at the force of what was coming down. And yes, that's why I kept saying, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Because Starry has never seen a mudslide in her whole entire life. You know, you got to remember, I'm from Wisconsin. Wisconsin is pretty flat. Pretty flat. But here's look at this. This is what's left of the water. But look at how it carved into that slide. Now it's down to a trickle. So, and the beautiful thing about this slide is I've got lots of rocks to work with. And Mr. Hilder has free firewood. Oh, we love free firewood. We love it. All right, so that is a Starry Hilder update. Yay! We survived the mudslide, and I think we did a pretty good job. You know, I did have a little bit of a meltdown, and you know, friends, we always say it ain't over till it's over. And yes, it's still spring, and we have pack up there that needs to melt. But God has been good. He has been so good to us, and I'm keeping the faith. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go see Mr. Hilder. God bless you, friends. Thanks for everything, all your suggestions and all your prayers.